institution. 3. Here we want to look at one by one merchant bank. Then we can now conclude the class by examining the types of non-banking institutions that we have. Merchant banks. These are banks engaging in wholesale banking, where large deposits are accepted and lending in bulk to a few customers are preferred. Now, when we are talking about merchant bank, we are talking about banks here they accept large deposit, and when they want to lend out, they lend out in bulk to few customers. So the bank or the banks, they do not believe in having large number of customers, but they prefer to have few customers that can deposit large volume of our cash. That is, bringing in large cash, and if they want to lend out, they lend in bulk. So this type of bank, they are not engaging in giving out facility that is within a year. They prefer to give out credit facility either in time of short run period or long run period. That is in time of short term loan or long term loan. When we say short term loan, the bank prefer to give out loan that will last for 5 to 10 years, even 15 years, right? Unlike commercial banks that believe in giving out loan just within a year. So merchant banks, they prefer to give out loan in medium term, a long term. But among their functions, they perform specialized functions such as A, acceptance of bill of exchange. If someone wants to discount its bill of exchange, commercial banks are the ones that do that. B, issuance of new shares. If a company wants to come up with new shares, they will consult merchant bank to do that for them. Then C, provision of medium and long-term loan. We've said it, that one of their functions is to render or to give out medium and long-term loan. Unlike commercial bank, giving out loan within a year, but they prefer to give loan 5 years, 10 years, and 15 years if they can, if someone is in need of that. Then the last one, dealing in foreign exchange. So merchant banks prefer to deal in foreign exchange. But today in Nigeria, we don't have merchant bank, likewise commercial banks. All our banks are now practicing what we call universal banking. That is, they've taken universal banking license, where they merge the activities of commercial bank and activities of merchant bank together. That now become universal banking. So nothing like merchant bank, nothing like a commercial bank in Nigerian banking system. So they are now universal banking is what they are now practicing. Here we want to look at other banks that we call merchant and mortgage banks. When you say mortgage bank, they also call it building society. And what do you mean by mortgage banks? Mortgage banks are institutions specializing in granting loans to individuals and corporate bodies for building purpose. If someone wants to have his own building or his own house or houses or your own business premises, that is your offices, right? A mortgage bank will encourage corporate bodies and individuals in having their own structures. So by having an account with them. But if someone wants to have an account with my mortgage bank or building society, right, you must be willing to have a large deposit with them so that you can have your own houses or your own offices. But they don't operate like a commercial banks. But what they focus is how to encourage people to build their own houses. But in Nigeria, the Apex Mortgage Bank is known as a Federal Mortgage Bank. This Federal Mortgage Bank is the one that will provide the activity concerning mortgage institution. Any activity with respect to mortgage institution, it is the Federal Mortgage Bank that is the Apex Bank. Unlike where we have central bank looking at the affair of our monetary sector. So that is to say, this institution is also under central bank. Central bank is controlling activities of commercial bank, we have said it, but not only the activities of commercial bank, but financial institution altogether. But when we are looking at mortgage institution, Federal Mortgage Institution is the one, Federal Mortgage Bank is the one looking into the mortgage institution in Nigeria. So among their function is to encourage people to build their own houses. Not only that, they also try to advise government with respect to what? Building houses. They encourage developers who want to build houses. So these are some of the functions that what mortgage bank as well as the Apex Bank is trying to look into. Then the next one we call it insurance companies. When we say insurance company, we are talking about institutions whose aim is to provide compensation for financial losses suffered by businessmen and others. That is, when it comes into issue of insurance, we expect every business to take insurance policy. This policy will safeguard them against risk. So that is to say, in the area of finance, the insurance company will take over that in compensating companies that suffer loss. So we have different classes of insurance policies, but we are not interested in that. But we see insurance company as financial institution looking at how to compensate businessmen, women, corporate body when it comes into financial losses. Then the third one here, we call it development banks. Development banks are institutions specializing in providing long-term credit to other enterprises for capital projects in the area of agriculture, commerce, and industry. Now, when we are talking about development banks, they are not just banks, but they focus in the area of a capital project. So in this institution, they are ready to give out loan up to 20 years, 30 years, because they engage in what we call long-term provision of credit facilities. So that's why I said they specialize in providing long-term credit. Unlike commercial banks, commercial banks that engage in giving out what we call short-term credit facility that will not last more than a year. Likewise, merchant banks, I would say, they engage in giving out credit facility medium and long term. But merchant bank is into medium and long term. But development banks, they are just into long term. They are not willing to give out what short time, medium, but only long term credit facility is what they were trying to give out in this area. So that's why I said they try to assist enterprises, particularly in the area of agriculture, area of commerce, and area of industry. Stock exchange market is a financial institution specializing in buying and selling of existing securities such as shares, stock, debentures, and so on and so forth. So it's also one of the financial institutions that we have, but it is a non-banking institution. They are only to assist firms in selling their existing security, or whoever want to buy existing security that we call share, stock, debenture. We would like to look at the difference between money market and capital market. We've been discussing about financial institutions. So in financial institutions, we have two types of market: money market and capital market. Now, what do you mean by money market? Money market is a market where short-term credit facilities are obtained between 3 months and 2 years. So what we would like to understand here is that when you are trying to seek for fund where you will not use it more than 2 years, but minimum of 3 months, maximum of 2 years, money market is the appropriate institution that someone can go. And the institutions in this market are commercial banks, discount houses, finance houses. All these can grant loan or overdraft, particularly in commercial bank, just within a short period of time. That is minimum of 3 months and maximum of 2 years. And in discount houses, that is when you have discounts, that if you want to discount your bill, right, discount houses can do that. Then when we're talking about finance houses, that is in the area of hire purchase, leasing of property, Finance houses can do that. That is, it will not be more than 2 years if they want to grant you such a facility. The second market is what we call capital market. It's also a market in financial institutions. And what do you mean by capital market? Capital market is a market providing medium and long-term credit facilities for above 2 years, less than 5 years, and over 5 years respectively. What we are trying to understand here is that in capital market, corporate bodies, private individuals can seek for funds here. If it's a medium term credit facility that someone needs, that is between 2 years and 5 years, someone can get a facility, that is fund from such institution that is in what capital market. But if you need a fund beyond 5 years, it is only in capital market that you can search for such facility. You cannot get such in money market, because money market is just a short period, that is maximum of 2 years. So when we are talking about capital market, let us look at the institutions that we have. The institutions in this market are merchant bank. We will define merchant bank as an institution providing medium and long-term loan, right? So it's an example of a capital market. You can get a loan within 5 years or more than that in merchant bank. The mortgage bank is another institution that can give what facility that will go beyond 2 years. We said that if you are seeking for mortgage, the mortgage bank will grant that. Can it for 10 to 15, 20 or 30 years if you want it, because you want to build your own house or you want to build your corporate building. So mortgage bank can do that. So it's an example of a capital market because they give grant beyond 2 years, even above 5 years. Then the next one is insurance company. Insurance company will encourage people to have what we call policy, that is to have a protection against risk that you don't expect. So insurance company is also an example of a capital market because they are accepting or accumulating funds, that is the premium from their customer, and this money will be used towards investment in an economy. So it's an example of a capital market. The fourth one is development bank. Development banks are banks that engage in providing long-term credit facility, that is long-term loan. So they are still under capital market. The last one we call stock exchange market. That is the market that assists investors in buying and selling existing securities. So stock exchange market is also an example of capital market. All these institutions, they have grouped under capital market because they allow facility beyond 2 years. While the other one we call it money market because it allows facility less than 2 years. Examples. Question 1. The following are capital market except A. Merchant bank, B. Insurance companies, C. Investment trusts, D. Commercial banks. The right answer is commercial bank. Others are capital markets. Question 2. Merchant banks are known as A. Retail banks, B. Wholesale banks, C. Customer banks, D. Corporate finance. The right answer is B. Wholesale banks. Question 3. Which of the financial institutions encourage public towards mortgage? A. Development banks, B. Merchant banks, C. Building societies, D. Urban development banks. The right answer is B. Building